Hello my friends and welcome back to Shadowrun. It's episode 7. And I'm about to run through this door, but before I do, I'm going to drop a buff on myself. Looks clear. Another funny thing about this game is what counts as high cover and what doesn't. Here they come. Oh, I guess my high cover did not help me there. Sure, let's do it. Pestilence. Missed. Eek. Hadouken. Oof. Annoyingly, you can't choose where you want to stand. .97% now I'm behind him. That's the last one. Follow me. Oh, I probably have some karma now. It never tells you when you've got any. I've got like 6. Or it's like it's very inconsistent. I'll hold on to it for now. Anything in here? Doesn't look like it. I will now summon the spirit. The air grows cold, and the spirits of dead children coalesce from the vapor of your breath. Their cherubic faces are burned, and their lips quiver as if they are about to cry. But their eyes are round and vacant, and they glare at you now, unblinking. We are the innocents who perished in the flames, choking on smoke. We fell from the sky, crying for our mothers. You bring anchors to your world, which was once home to us. We will use them to testify. We no longer see the world of flesh, Seeker, only the essence and auras of living things. Words, though, words may echo through the veil, and sometimes we may hear them. Last night, this place was filled with a scream that went on and on, drawing us to it. It was a man crying out for a witness as he died. And so we came to bear witness, but fled in terror before the malevolent spirit that profaned the man's remains. The spirit was other, not of this place. It had twisted its way through the veil and through the dark to come here. When the other had gone, we returned to our vigil. We found two creatures of flesh. One you would call an elf, unsullied by technology and able to channel the energies of the cosmos, yet his spirit was corrupted from within. He was dark and twisted, yet not like the other, so we did not flee. The second we knew to be a troll. Ribbons of his essence had been flayed from him, leaving cold machinery behind. His aura was the aura of one simple and confused. Between elf and troll lay the remains of a man whose sister now chants to us for justice. The elf. His essence remains in this place where the man died. Something has been left behind, a small part of him, perhaps. The spirit's begin to fade, all but one. Its eyes harden and take full measure of you, as if to commit everything about you to memory. No, we must not stay. The spirit's gone. The young shaman releases her hold on the magical tether, connecting her to the other realm. She reels from the backlash, or perhaps from the emotional toil of knowing her brother's last moments. They saw him. They were with him when he died. You are right. She takes a series of controlled breaths, only shuddering with the first few. No, but I will be. I don't want that for him, not what these poor souls have endured. My brother deserves to be free. He is free. What we do now, we do for the living. Thank you, and you're right. This isn't over yet. We have to find that piece of the elf the spirit spoke of. It's our best hope of stopping this. Anything in here? Doesn't look like it. I brought a Decker along, but I'm not actually able to hack into that computer in the end. How much karma did I get there? 8! That's a lot. Blood. This is what the spirits want us to find. Piece of my brother's killer. It is not much, but it is enough. She scowls at it, looking every bit like she intends to reach through the small sample and dismember its owner from afar. And perhaps she can. Is that enough to target a spell? All I need is a drop. An adequate time. I'm feeling quite drained. I need to rest before I can try something so involved. When I'm able, I'll commune with the bear, consult the spirits, and do what must be done. In the meantime, you might take some portion of the sample to pursue a more conventional avenue of attack. Good. Let me know if you learn anything about this elf and troll pair. Should you find them, I want to be there when they are brought low. I want to see the light leave their eyes. For my brother. As long as your need for vengeance doesn't endanger the operation. Return to the Seamstresses Union. So we're done. I'm gonna grab a strength 8. We are getting very strong. I brought a Decker along, it just wasn't necessary. I thought we were going to be able to access this terminal that I couldn't get to last time. But nope. See, this is where this game really differs from the SNES one. It's not really a persistent world. Like, I never got into this room either. When you return to the Seamsters Union in the early hours of the morning, it seems like a completely different place. Bereft of the normal crowd that haunts it, the bar feels desolate, almost abandoned. It's eerie, like the back hallways of hotels and shopping malls. You finally have a break in your case. A sample of the Ripper's blood. You just need to find someone to help you analyze it. Without its colourful staff, cast of regulars and posing tourists, the Union feels hollow. The front bar and lounge are deserted except for a handful of janitors. Gathered around the intimate back bar, Miss Kubota and her coterie gather for breakfast, with the lady herself doing the cooking. The smell of soy calf and something resembling sausages fills the room. Ohio, would you like some? Forgive me, Ome, but you look like hell. I have been working. Any run you can walk away from is a good run. So I've been told. I can tell you've been busy, and I can see the look on your face that there's something you need. Is this about the Ripper? Yes, I found some DNA evidence and need help analyzing it. That is excellent. I will unlock the pianos. You may go downstairs. I am certain someone in the safe house will be able to help you if they are awake. It is likely that you will visit the Matrix before the day is done. Can I take a sausage? Take a whole plate. I miss good sausages. Norwegians do not have good sausages, I'm sorry. Sorry to any Norwegians listening, but that highly minced stuff that's more like a hot dog is not for me. Evening, sir. What's the word around town? There'll be more talk of the Ripper killing. Some people are saying there are hate crimes on the account of the victims all being human. What if I told you the prime suspects were an elf and a troll? Still doesn't mean the killings are racially motivated. People are just too quick to label something a hate crime. Check the consensus. The city is still 66% humans. Close your eyes and throw a rock and you're more likely to hit a human. Doesn't make it a hate crime. It's still a crime though, and that should be enough. This is the first real rise you've seen out of Mr. Chloe. He seems... But he reins himself in with a roll of his thick shoulders and the soothing of his jacket. Don't worry, I'm not going to start throwing rocks. Wouldn't want to reinforce the stereotype. I'll leave you to your business, sir. I'm also a troll. Why are we even having this discussion? You've been doing a lot of legwork on this job that's going to require a trip to cyberspace and back to ID the Ripper, the Matrix, the cybernetic analogue of the grid. Worldwide computer network, a digital world, information brought to life. Inside cyberspace, your avatar does all the work while your meat body is left behind. All around your avatar are pathways to other nodes filled with data, IC, counter-intrusion programs, and other jacked-in runners. Cyberspace has many dangers in the meat world, and more. Locked doors, security countermeasures, and black IC that can fry a Decker's brain. Every moment you make in the Matrix can be tracked if you aren't careful. Get dump sharked out and your brain gets fuzzy for a bit. Get hit by an enemy Decker and you can die. Die. Morning, you look like you've been up all night. You've seen some action too. Suppose I could use a shower. Here to buy equipment? Negative, need a DNA analysis. Frank can help you out. Doc Castle's equipment isn't really set up for that. However, it could employ a semiconductor chip. It could decode the DNA using a voltage change instead of light. That would eliminate the use of highly expensive equipment that would be required otherwise. Just read a journal about it, so the information's still fresh. Frankly, it should be easy. What do you want to know about it? Owner's identity. That's beyond me. All I can get you is the gene code sequence. That's where I come in, David. If you can get me that code sequence, I'm pretty sure we can track down its owner. Track its owner down via a Matrix run. Will do. Let me have the DNA you want to test. David gives me the sequence. I'll jack in and help you trace the blood sample back to its source. Thanks, guys. If this works, we may find the Ripper. No Drek. Wake up, Johnny boy. You got work to do. And Edmund, if you need any gear, I'll be right here. Got second wind. Meet you at my rig. Hoping to get some peace and quiet tonight. You got something for me? I got a flight recorder. Wouldn't happen to be an Ares flight recorder, would it? Some very powerful buyers are looking for that for right now. I can get rid of it for you for, say, 20%. That leaves 2,000 for you. Fine. I don't have the corporate etiquette, so and I'm not going to buy it either. Thanks to that semiconductor-based gene sequencing system that David employed, we should have the information we need to track the Ripper in the Matrix. I'm really impressed with his results, considering it was his first attempt. He was utilizing an unproven technique he'd read about in a science journal, and he was working from memory on minimal sleep. That's great, Professor. What's the plan? We hit Lone Star DNA database first to see if our donor has a prior criminal record. They have extensive DNA archives, then we go hunting based on what we find. Let's hit the decks and jack into the Matrix, and get you into that private grid easily, but I gotta warn you, once we're in, it could get a little rough. How much decking experience have you had? None. I have a TrodeNet here. It's a headband you wear that lets you piggyback me into the Matrix. You'll see and hear everything I do. We're in. Synapses light up as you connect your consciousness to the digital world. Although you aren't jacked in like Johnny, the sensation is overwhelming and electrifying. You can only imagine the way it feels for him. I'm taking IP damage. Come on. IC is down. Let's see if there's a match for his fingerprint. "100% match. Silas Forsberg, deceased, shop surgical assistant, breaking and entering, 2 counts, public indecency, 1 count." Brought in for questioning on accusations of unlicensed plastic surgery. 100% match to a dead man? Let's keep looking. Before we enter anywhere else, we need to heal up. I didn't realize he had an expert attacker program. That is actually very useful. Pop. News on subject. Silas Forsberg. Body of Silas Forsberg, Chop Shop surgical assistant, was found in the apartment of was found in an apartment in Snohomish earlier this week. The body had been there for as long as a month when Forsberg's landlord noticed a rancid smell and contacted authorities. Lone Star representatives have issued a statement saying Forsberg's death has been ruled a suicide. According to reports, his body has a massive puncture wounds, and the cause of death was determined to be an overdose of anti-stress medications and sedatives. Man's employer claims he was a dedicated employee, though he suffered from bouts of depression. Forsberg's next of kin could not be located, but attorney appointed to his estate has located a written will his weeks prior, leaving all of his belongings to his psychiatrist. The identity of the psychiatrist has not been released due to privacy concerns. Yet another sad end to a life, as far too common here in the sprawl. Just wait here. Boshed. And it's dead. Autopsy records. Silas Forsberg notes subject was found overdosed on half a dozen different sedatives. Several anti-anxiety medications were also found in the system. Face was mutilated, possibly self-inflicted. Identity could not be confirmed immediately due to disfigurement. Had to check dental records to confirm. No next of kin. Large puncture wounds were found in several places on the body, possibly large bore surgical needles. The body had been decomposing for several weeks before the landlord noticed the smell and called the police when no one answered the door. What's really weird about this bit of the game is, like, how did they even, like, how did everybody know that you needed to go to the Matrix when you just turned up with the blood sample? So here's what we know. Our DNA evidence belongs to a dead man whose death was never explained. He worked with chop shops, which fits with the living guy you've met. Newsnet says he left his estate to a psychiatrist. Maybe finding out who the psychiatrist is. Finding out who his psychiatrist was will give us our next clue. My gut says we can deck into the medical board's records and reverse trace to find this doctor. You in? Punch it, dude. Let us attack. No movement for you. Nice. Got it. Searching medical records. Medical record file for Silas Forsberg located. One particular pediatrician's entry stands out from the rest. The child suffers from chronic depression and social anxiety, most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. Seen many cases like this recently, with the outbreak of the changeling children being born. With this aberrant... I'm not sure that's a word, aberrant. Abhorrent is a word. Aberrant, I guess, is also a word, I think. Anyway. Physiology. We're seeing there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year that seem to have no effect, upping the dosage. Data missing or corrupted. The file is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. It's written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silas has overcome significant medical disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Latest medications have proven especially effective, but I believe being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He's bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in the form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. For this reason and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to his case. I will inform him as at his next session. Got a name now, Dr. Holmes. Have we found the clues, Dr. Holmes? Watch out, that black I see could fry our brains and kill us. You mean you, right? I'm not in the Matrix. I don't think the expert program can actually, like, teleport across. Well, that sucked. I probably should have done Sniffer first. $10 host damage. Guess I'd better get rid of this one first. Damn, I missed 250. Alright, that's that guy done. Alright, I ruined their internet protocols. Because apparently that's a thing in Shadowrun. This was a system made by someone who knew nothing about the internet. Employment records located. Henry Hollings. Holmes, MD, PhD. Current employment status. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of Chief Psychiatrist and Administrator at Mercy Mental Hospital, Sonorhomish, Washington, UCAS. Previous employers. Mercy Mental Hospital, private practice. Bingo. Back to meat space. Reality is at the end of the day contextual. As the meat world fades back into focus once more, your head once again tries to settle on which world is the real one. While the philosophical question lingers in your meat body demands food and drink. Disconnect from your deck to find that the Union's safe house has risen. What deck? We're not a decker. We're not a decker. We didn't disconnect from any deck. Despite the hour, Buster is fastidiously put together in another wrinkle-free suit. He shows every indication that he's been up for hours, sunk to his elbows in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister matte black hidden beneath curls of straw-coloured packing foam. Foam flies about as he inventories the shipment, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Just in time, I got a whole slew of new toys in the form of a supplier back east, factory fresh and still smelling of their mother's gun oil. Maybe there's something in this batch you'd be interested in. How long have you been in the trade? Let's see. I left Carol free on July 8th, 2038 at 6:13 in the morning. It was a Thursday. This guy. He is like every drill instructor stereotype rolled into one. From there, I wandered a bit, applied my skills as a merc in half a dozen different wars, official or otherwise, never did take to running the shadows like some of the boys I knew, too subtle for my tastes, I suppose. Surely there was no shortage of full-scale engagements to be had, so I didn't want for work. Might still be doing it today if I hadn't lost the arm. How'd you lose it? It was all so stupid. Some Aussies... Some Azzies. Not Aussies. Azzies were lobbing smokers behind our lines, more to mess with us than anything. I decided to toss one back. Didn't it just figure that the one I grab ain't a smoker? I got it off, but only just barely. Shredded my old arm, but good. Plenty of other scars to remember the moment by as well, but the arm was the big one. Take my word advice from an old soldier. Make sure you're never holding a grenade in one hand unless you just pulled the pin with the other. You know, you don't... So here's the thing. With modern grenades... I did some grenade training. Modern grenades, you hold the grenade like this, with the handle in your palm. And so, the pin... you take it out in advance. Take the pin and throw it away, and you're holding this grenade with the handle in your palm the whole time. Because it doesn't arm until that handle opens. So when you throw it, the handle opens in your palm, pushes off your palm, and then it arms. So you can then, if the handle's in your palm, you can put the pin back in, and it's fine. So this whole idea of a guy like doing this pull and throw thing is like old school. It's actually nonsense by modern standards. Old grenades used to work that you pulled the pin and the fuse started going. You had a certain amount of time. Modern grenades don't work like that. They work on this push handle. Once the handle is gone, it's got something like 4 seconds or something. 4 or 3 seconds. There's no way you're going to throw it back, because there isn't time. It's not a thing you can do. I've heard of some really hyper-modern grenades that actually detonate once they touch the ground. Once they impact with something. But they're too expensive for most militaries. Man, the melee weapons suck. We've got an axe. It still only does 5 damage. I think that's on top of your strength bonus. Well, it only costs 150, so let's get it. Just to try it. It may not be better than me just punching people. David looks almost as tired as you do. You can tell that the case has gotten under his skin like it has yours. Any luck in there? We found the exact match for the DNA, but it was linked to a dead chop shop assistant by the name of Silas Forsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think is going on here? Maybe Silas faked his death. That's a distinct possibility. What was it that we saw in the autopsy report? His face was so mangled that he had to use dental records to identify him. Good catch. That matches up with something I've seen runners try. Easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Find some schlub off the street no one will miss, swap the teeth, throw the heat off your trail for a while. Luckily I've never been that desperate. Why do you need to go to those lengths? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? He had a prior for unlicensed plastic surgery. True, that wouldn't look too good on someone's record if they want to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silas left all his belongings to a doctor. Dr. Holmes' employment records have him as the administrator of Mercy Mental, and the picture on his file matches the person you saw downtown. Same person this DNA belongs to. All the evidence points to him being your killer, whoever he really is. Go and find this Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. Please pay him my respects. I always find that high caliber rounds get the message across. Clearly hide some friends and go loaded for bear. I side loaded a ton of valuable data from those Lone Star Matrix nodes. Here's your cut. You're not coming? I think my part here is done. You might want to go sticking your hand into a hornet's nest, but I'm a little more wary of the jobs I take these days. Have you got new armor? He does. Advanced strength +1, HP +5. I love that. You know, I read somewhere, I think it was a long time ago, that this game had a bug in it. And, where the hell did my other armor just go? Whoa, my outfit just duplicated itself. Or did it? What is going on with this game? Did I just duplicate? I've just discovered a bug. Did I just duplicate my armor by pressing clear all right now? Oh, that's funny and stupid. I don't know how I did that, but I just managed to dupe Okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, oh great, it's crashed. Hang on, let me go to my inventory and actually see. Did I accidentally duplicate that armor? Yeah! Wow, I discovered a bug. That's amazing. I don't know how that happened, but it just did. Well, it's not my fault. I didn't try to do that. I mean, I tried to replicate it to see if I could replicate it, but I couldn't replicate it. Just one glance is all you need to tell that the good doctor is exhausted. Her crumpled scrubs are stained with a mix of blood and other fluids too colourful to be naturally occurring in the human body. Her eyes are those of a person who built up a substantial sleep debt and has no idea when or how to begin paying it off. Not one to talk, but you look like Drek. I'm afraid there isn't much I can do for that. Now, what can I do for you? Everything alright here, Doc? At the Union? Yes, I'm fine. Just getting back to myself. Days here tend to be slow, so I volunteer at a medical centre on the other side of Touristville. I had a rough shift. What always happens? Some run or some deal or meet went south, one thing led to another, etc, 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 etc. Didn't hear all the details, all I really know is what came in on the lips of the victims healthy enough to still speak. Apparently one of the Baron's gangs incurred the wrath of the local Siopla rings, leading to a rolling shootout through the city streets. Several bystanders were injured. The real mess didn't begin until the party crashed into the yard of an old industrial plant out on Union Hill Road. They woke some sort of toxic spirit, which then began running amok, causing easily as much damage as the initial battle. We were left to pick up the pieces, of course. But enough about my troubles, let's hear about yours. Tell me what ails you. Wired reflexes with reflex trigger. Movement +1. When triggered, you will dodge the first attack against you. Lasts 3 rounds. It's pretty good. Movement +1 is always pretty good for someone who needs to get close. It's a body part though, which means I lose my armor. Getting to dodge an attack for free is nice. But it's very expensive at this moment, and it would replace my armor, so I'll just leave it and maybe get it next time. I will buy some advanced medkits. I'm not really interested in Algernon. He's magical and I'm not. We have transcended humanity. I can't quite afford to transcend humanity and also get my strength up. I do need to work on my combat skills. says there that my essence is 2. I don't think your essence is allowed to fall below 1. Current essence 2, 2.5. After operation 2, 2.5. Okay, I see. I can't remember how you get extra essence. I think it is possible to get more essence, but it might involve spending on something I don't want to spend on. No idea. Okay, I'm going to say that that's it for now, as we are out of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time.